Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef The Alter Nerd, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to the Dose of the Daily Nerd, where I break down the royal news and gossip of the day that's pretty much caught me eye. And oh my goodness, yeah, let's jump into this madness, shall we? Because Meghan Markle has been issued a chilling warning over her father, Thomas Markle Sr. What is this warning? Well, let's get into it right now. This is being reported by Express. Meghan Markle issued chilling warning over sick father Thomas. And so here it's being reported that Megxie has been told it would be too dangerous, right, for her to fly to her father's side in the Philippines. So this is now the latest reason as to why Megxie hasn't flown over to be by her dad's side. It's too dangerous, guys. It's too dangerous. What the frick is this nonsense, right? Aides have warned her that only a major security operation costing millions could guarantee her safety in the strife-torn Southeast Asian country. Okay, well, she's been to Colombia, she's been to Nigeria, yeah? And security there cost millions. I mean, come on. Plus, she can freaking afford it herself. You know what I mean? So the US State Department advisory issued earlier this year has warned citizens of traveling to the Philippines due to heightened risks of, quote, crime, terrorism, civil unrest and kidnapping. Thing is, there's similar warnings, right, that the US State Department have advised on when it comes to Colombia and Nigeria as well. She's all right going to Colombia and Nigeria. Philippines, though, something wrong with that. I wonder why, right, guys? A senior Hollywood source with commercial ties, apparently, to Hazard and Megxie confirmed, quote, she understands she is an incredibly high-risk target and knows it would be too dangerous to attempt even a brief visit with too many unknown factors. Okay. She says, Hazard says, right, it's too dangerous for Megxie and the kids to come over to the UK, right? Because Megxie might get knifed or she might be a victim of an acid attack, right? Hilarious he would say that. She still went to Nigeria, she still went to Colombia, yeah? More of a risk of being knifed and acid attacked there than the UK. Secondly, the times that she has been to the UK, has anything happened to our knowledge against her? No. None. Zero. But she's still trying to elevate herself as a high-risk target. She's the freaking bed. A report by the Philippine National Police last spring recorded scores of recent kidnappings for ransom, including one high-profile case that ended in the brutal unalivement of Filipino-Chinese steel magnate Anson Q. Terrorists are behind many of the kidnappings. You've got also organised crime groups there, including the Chinese triads. And yeah, they're not into very good stuff, as you can imagine, right, guys? And so since the current president was elected back in June 2022, he's also faced civil unrest over alleged government corruption. 650,000 protesters last month took to the streets in Manila, the capital city, for 3 days in a demonstration over billions of missing pounds in flood relief funds that led to countless arrests. And so, in the travel warning, the US State Department declared, quote, terrorists and armed groups have carried out kidnappings, bombings, and other attacks targeting public areas. Violent crimes are also common in the Philippines. Now, the Express's source also added, given the extremely dangerous instability there, Meghan has accepted the risk factor is just too great to even contemplate any kind of in-person reunion with her dad right now. This is the thing, right? But she can still travel to Colombia and Nigeria, and that's all Gucci, right? Make that make sense. Make it make more sense when I even turn around and say, well, hang on a minute. Don't bring the mountain to Mohammed. Bring Mohammed to the mountain. In other words, right? Why does Megxie even have to consider going over to the Philippines, right, to see her dad? Why don't she spend her money on getting her dad over to the US, close to her, in a hospital? Then she can see him. All those millions that she's earned from Netflix and the like, But no, there's a problem her going to the Philippines. But where's the problem in getting Tom to the US? I'm just asking for a friend here, right? Now, as fantastic Elton Musk says right here, it's too terribly dangerous for Megxi to go to the Philippines, you know, but somehow Colombia is safe? Go figure. So yeah, let's dive into the crime statistics from Colombia. And let me warn you guys, it does not make for good reading. And so here, this is from Statista.com. Colombia is one of the most affected countries by criminality and violence in the world, right? So it's not a little bit better than the Philippines or anything like that. It's one of the worst, but she went there. She can't go to the Philippines. Are you kidding me? In just the last 10 years, public expenditure on order and security has increased 130%. The cost of violence for the country in 2023 was around $274 billion, almost double when you compare it to 2015. Overall, the violence, the illegality of the country is creating a climate of insecurity and fueling migration abroad. In 2024, Colombia ranked third with the highest homicide rate in South America, only behind Ecuador and Venezuela. During that same year, the homicide rate decreased for the third year in a row to around 25.4 cases per every 100,000 inhabitants, which translates to more than 13,300 people losing their lives. So, since armed conflicts and criminal organisations use illegal firearms, these have become one of the main problems linked to crime and homicides, as almost 77% of homicides were conducted with firearms. So, it's way too dangerous, right, for her to travel to the Philippines. But it's all Gucci for her to go on a fake royal tour to Colombia, right? And you guys might be asking, well, yeah, she went on a fake royal tour to Colombia, but hang on a minute. We can't be forgetting Nigeria here. No, we cannot. And Nigeria, it's even worse there. Political instability, citizen alienation, terrorism, violence define the Nigerian crime scene. Nigeria has recently been included among countries with the least peace in the world. This is worse than Colombia and Philippines. It's the 19th less peaceful state. In addition, Nigeria is the 8th country most affected by terrorism based on the Global Terrorism Index. This is no joke, guys. This is no joke. Nigeria was the 5th country in Africa with the highest risk of genocide and the 12th worldwide. This risk is influenced by a population of over 200 million people, a high child mortality rate, ongoing battle-related deaths, the country's own history of mass killing, and its ethnic fractionalisation. But again, guys, going to the Philippines, ooh, big, massive no-no. Too dangerous. But going to Colombia and going to Nigeria, A-okay. So, let me get this straight, right? It's absolutely fine to visit countries ravaged by murder and terrorism for their fake royal tours. But when it comes to visiting her ill father in the Philippines, now it's too dangerous for Megxi to go abroad? Well, like I said before, don't bring the mountain to Muhammad, bring Muhammad to the mountain, right? If Megxi can't go to the Philippines for whatever reason, right, okay. She's earned enough to be able to afford getting her dad over to America, putting him into a nearby hospital and being able to see him privately, under her own rules, controlled by her, this, that and the other. Why didn't she do that? Why don't she do that instead? And I'm just asking for a friend there. Now, with that being said, those watching live, stay exactly where you are. We're going to get into the bonus Hazza and Megxi story next. Meghan and Hazza, ooh, they're bracing themselves for a make or break Christmas. What does this mean? Well, for those watching live on YouTube or on X, stay exactly where you are. I'm not done with you guys yet. But if you haven't done so already, please do make sure you subscribe to join our Alter Nerd tribe here. If you're watching on X, make sure you're following me at Stef Alter Nerd for more misadventures of the gruesome twosome. Like, share, comment down below if you're watching on the replay, your opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. What do you think is the real reason why Megsy's not going to the Philippines to visit her ill father? Because this whole excuse of, oh, it's way too dangerous for her, to me is BS, especially when she's travelled to more dangerous countries in the past, such as Colombia and Nigeria, as I've illustrated in this video right here. So what do you think is the real reason Megsy's not going to the Philippines to visit her ill father? Well, if you watch on the replay, let me know in the comments down below. Again, those watching live stay exactly where you are. But for those on the replay, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate all your faces. And until the next time, you guys, laters.